there, it's Christy with the Chirp YouTube channel. I want to talk to you today about some things that you can do with a sick child that do not include screen time. If you can't tell already in this video, I am sick. I was out of town last weekend. Happily, I got to work with a wonderful church in Texas that is starting up a special needs program. I got to do some training with them and get to know them a little bit. That was so encouraging and uplifting and good for my soul that I'm just thrilled I was able to be part of that. I also got to see the ocean, which was, of course, wonderful. I don't have enough water here in the Arizona desert, so it was really good to be able to see the waves and smell the air and see the seagulls. Of course, I do run a little bit sensitive and sometimes fragile, even though I hate to admit it. And a virus got me while I was either there or on my way home. And I have been spending a lot of time working hard to recover. And by working hard, I mean lying on the couch and snuggling my cats while reading Harry Potter books. That has been my recovery process, and I'm gonna keep doing it as soon as I am done posting this video. Of course, it brought to mind, kids are sick a lot, and our kids with special needs tend to be sick more often. Their immune systems are a bit weaker much of the time, and also sometimes they aren't quite as aware about hygiene procedures and sometimes do crazy stuff like lick their shoes or pick their nose after they've just had their hand on the merry-go-round. All sorts of things happen, sicknesses happen, and it's good to have an arsenal of activities that are quiet, that don't require a lot of energy output, that your child will be interested in doing while he or she is sick. The first one I'm going to suggest is easy. It's stickers. You can find lots and lots of stickers at the dollar store in every variety you can imagine. One of my favorites is Mosaic stickers, and this is where there are little boxes and the kids put the stickers in the boxes and it makes some sort of an artwork that the child didn't have to design herself. My nieces really love these Mosaic ones. Sometimes they're little jewels, sometimes they're glittery, sometimes they're just plain stickers. They're very cool and very engaging for most kids. They also work on fine motor skills, which is excellent, and they do require quite a bit of focus. They can go all the way from very easy, you just have stickers and kids peel them off and stick them on construction paper, all the way up to a more complex sort of sticker by number mosaic, which is what my older niece Cora was doing. She was matching the number ones and putting all of the gold where there were number ones. And she was really interested in continuing to do that. It was very motivating for her.
Where's ones? That, Grandpa. Ones. We're looking for ones.
I don't see any more ones. We might have to move on to 2. It's pretty.
Okay.
This is a cute little fairy.
Oh.
No, I can do it. What do you mean?
Oh, you did find some more ones.
Well, you wish me to come
Look at
with
you. Good eyes. And good fingers. Wow, look at your careful little fingers.
I looked at the sheet.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I'll come in there with you.
And then you saw some more silver. So pretty.
Stickers are great. If you can find scratch and sniff stickers, if you can find stickers of the child's very favorite characters, it's going to be much more motivating. While you're doing that, you can ask your child if you want to send any of these sticker things to grandma or grandpa or aunties or teachers. These people love, I am an auntie, and I love getting any sort of thing in the mail or just a picture of it that the child specifically wanted me to have. That's always very nice, and it's a good thing to think about when your child is making artworks. You can fold it up, stick it in an envelope, and ship it off to Auntie Christy. Then Auntie Christy's gonna feel happy, and your child is happy too because she sent some love via stickers. Another activity I really like for kids that does not include any screen time is water painting. There are special books and special paper that you can get and a special paintbrush that do not cause any mess. The glorious thing is that you fill the little paintbrush up with water. It has a little sponge or a little paintbrushy thing on the end, and then you can paint on the special paper or the special little book and the color comes out. So it's really just kind of a soothing activity for kids to paint with water, and then the colors come out in the picture and it's very beautiful and it doesn't cause mess and it's very calming. Another thing you can do is play Gearation. Kids love Gearation. I love Gearation. I talk about it a lot on this channel. I put a little video of it for you there so you can see what it looks like and why kids might like it. It does require a little supervision most of the time because the gears get stuck, it stops moving and starts clicking if the gears are a little bit too close to each other. If they're too far away, they don't turn, they all have to be touching. It requires a little bit of adult support from time to time, but it's very soothing for kids and it's very good activity that doesn't involve screen time. I also recommend a little ramp, a little car ramp, a little wooden car ramp where the cars go down and they just very soothingly go down the ramp over and over. When my little niece Esme was sick, my dad said all she wanted to do was just watch the cars go down that ramp. And she didn't want to move very much. She just put her little arm up, put the car on the top, and it went down. Very nice if you are under the weather. Sadly, I left all of my toys in my classroom, or maybe I would be playing with some of these toys while I was sitting on the couch. A penguin run is also a good idea. Penguin runs don't require any movement from the child at all, but they are still visually entertaining. You just switch them on, the penguins go up the stairs, and then they slide down the little slide, and then they go up the stairs again, and they do it all automatically because it's all an interconnected system. It's very cute, it's very fun. If you have someone in your family who can disconnect the speaker so it doesn't make its annoying music or squeaky sounds, then that is much better than just leaving the speaker attached. If you're not too afraid about a little bit of a mess, I do love watercolor painting. Kids are very soothed by it. A lot of my kids who have difficulty managing themselves and staying calm get calm naturally when they use watercolor paints. The idea is to remember to only put a teeny little bit of water in the cup or use a sponge, which also works really nicely. Say first water, then paint, then paper. Repeat that mantra over and over, because if you do paint first, then paper, then water, no paint gets on the paper and it's very frustrating. But just having a coloring sheet where the child can do watercolors on that, maybe with a towel or a bed tray or something like that, is a really good idea for sick days. Also, crayons, colored pencils, all of those things are fantastic activities for the fingers and for the eyes, and it is soothing to accomplish something even though you are sick. If your child is capable, puzzles are enjoyable as well during sick times. Once again, with a tray on the bed or on the couch or wherever your child is sitting is a great idea. It just depends how many pieces of a puzzle your child does, depends on your child. But of course there are puzzles available from 10 pieces or 5 pieces all the way up to thousands of pieces, which isn't probably a good idea to do in a bed because we need kind of a smaller puzzle. But once again, the dollar store has some great puzzles that are on the smaller side that are made for kids. Another activity that is non-screen time related is kinetic sand. I'm sure that you know what this is by now if you have a kid or if you work in education, but it is sand that has a little bit of stuff in it that makes it not so sandy. It's a little bit more of a liquid and less of a sand. It's a mixture of both, obviously, it's still sand, but it flows through your fingers kind of more like a liquid. So I'm guessing it has some sort of a glue in it or some sort of evil chemical that's probably poisoning all of our children. It's really super cool. Hopefully it's not. I'm sure they've done some testing. This is a great idea to keep it in a bin with tall walls, a plastic bin, and let kids play in it. Let them have some molds so they can build castles. I have some little animal molds that they can bury the animals or fill the molds up and make a little sort of snowman type animal out of the sand. You can drive cars in the sand. You can scrape in the sand with a little bitty rake. There are all sorts of things to do with kinetic sand, and they're pretty much all fun. We do have to have some rules around it, of course, because we can't throw it. It has to stay in the bin. If the child's too messy, then it has to be all done, and we do something else. I love the idea of allowing the child to put some masking tape roads, maybe even on the bed, and driving Hot Wheels cars around on it. That is really fun. If you have a little girl who's interested more in people and dolls, then dressing up dolls and changing their outfits, or putting a baby to bed, taking care of a baby who is sick, those kind of things are really fun for kids as well. And that they're a little bit more active than some of those other ideas, but they're still very calm and quiet. You can also play games. There are some really fun games for kids out there. My favorite at the moment is called Spin a Robot, or Spin to Build a Robot, or something along those lines. And it's one of those games where you flick the spinner and you get a number, and then that's the thing of the robot that you get. If it's a 1, it's his head. If it's a 2, it's his arms. It's really cute. It's very calming. Kids get to work their motor skills by flicking, and then they put together the robot in a puzzle format. It's very cute, and I approve. There's another game that I'm just getting into called Bob Ross's Happy Little Accidents. I need to adapt it for my students just slightly, but the idea is that every person playing makes a little scribble, and then you put them all in the middle and pick a card and pick a scribble, and the card will say computer, and you have to make this scribble look like a computer. For some kids, I have one student in my program who really soothes himself by drawing, by doing more fine motor things. And this game is really good for him. Something along these lines is really good. I have another game called Who, What, Where Junior, where you pick 3 cards, and it would be, for example, a flamingo dancing in an elevator. So it would be a red, yellow, and green card, or green, yellow, red, I guess, maybe. I don't know what order it goes in. And then you'd have to draw the flamingo dancing in an elevator. And because all of the words are mixed up and so silly, kids really get a kick out of it. And it requires some mental focus, but not a lot of physical action. When a child is sick is a good time to practice doctor skills and pain recognition skills. If you have a bunch of toys like bears and other stuffed animals and dolls, it's a good time to practice Dolly's head hurts, and we put masking tape on the dolly's head and we pretend like it's a band-aid. You can actually use real bandages, sticky bandages if you'd like, but they are a lot more expensive than masking tape or some kind of other tape. And if the bear falls down and hurts her knee, we can say, ouchie, ouchie, my knee hurts. And then Dr. Child, whoever your child is, Dr. Anna, can put tape on the bear's knee, and then the bear feels better. It's fun to practice those skills while the child isn't feeling well, because you can also practice modeling for the child what about her doesn't feel well. If I'm the child, you might say, oh man, my voice hurts, my throat hurts, my voice is croaky, my head hurts. You can practice this with visuals, and you can just practice it with verbal modeling as well. But since health is already on our minds, since the child isn't feeling well, it's a good time to practice the language that goes along with not feeling well. I probably could come up with more ideas for you, but probably this is enough to go along with for now. And also, I'm going to start coughing pretty soon, and I need to take a break, go get some beverages, and lie back down for a while. I hope you're having a wonderful week, that you are not sick, that your whole family is not sick, but that if anyone happens to get a little ill, that some of these ideas might be helpful for you. Thank you very much for watching. Leave me your ideas down below as far as what do your children like to do when they are sick? What do you do with students who maybe aren't feeling real well? I know obviously we send them home, but sometimes everyone's just a little sick and not sick enough to go home, but not really alert either. What do you do on those days if you're a teacher? And also I would love to ask you, since this is kind of a new year, close to a new year anyway, what are some topics that you would like to see me address in the coming videos? I would love to hear what you have to say and what your thoughts are about videos that are helpful to you. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.